I'm sorry.
Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. I am Esher Blondway with Sister Kathy here at the Women's Symposium 2016. And Sister, tell me a little bit about your presentation at this conference.
Well, I'm in the course of transitioning from male to female. I've been at it for most of my life, and it's accelerated in the last couple of years. And I'm just on the threshold of taking it to the medical level. And a number of people said that it would be interesting for me to tell that story. It's being in the Women's Symposium while I'm on my way in the process of awakening the woman that's been inside me all these years. And I was persuaded to talk on the subject with the hope that others who might be making similar journeys could learn something, borrow ideas from what I've found along the way.
As a woman who's transitioning, you're transitioning to a woman, or you've always been a woman.
You're
just pick the biology.
I'm aligning everything else with that.
You're
Yes.
you're considering yourself more in line with who you truly are. How do you think OTO fits in us? Is something? How has been your experience with OTO members? This is probably a better way of putting it.
It's been spectacular. It's been just this level of support, of love, of encouragement. During my presentation, I joked that I sometimes think my therapist doesn't believe me that this organization really exists, because it's just unreal. It is literally unbelievable, the amount of support that I've received. I think that we're an organization that is devoted to change. Initiation is change. Magic is change. So there is no group in the world who are more devoted to the idea of personal transformation. And this is such a emblematic, visible, deep transformation that I think it sort of pleases people to be part of it, to help shove me along. And it really has felt like being shoved sometimes. There have been times where I'm like, okay, a little less support, I'm going too fast.
Yeah, we all get excited about stuff, so we want to support you in your way.
Whoa,
so.
enough support already.
Well, you can at least point to this blog and go, see, they exist.
There you go.
We posted online, so.
Therapist, here I am. See, there's at least one more.
How would you say, like, the OTOs in the future, do you think, is going to handle? I mean, we had some beautiful presentations on gender identity and sexuality. What is your feeling that future of the OTO, with people who are supportive, you see that continuing, maybe getting better and more supportive?
Well, even better, I see the need for support diminishing over time as this becomes more and more common, as the idea that each of us has a true self that we're trying to express seeps out into the culture at large. The idea that it takes some special act of courage and a lot of support to get over the hump, to get out of the closet, will gradually go away as we move into this new eon of ours. That will just become part of the cultural consciousness. But I often say that the OTO serves as a midwife for the new eon. The new eon is going to happen whether or not the OTO is here. Thelema is bigger than this order. So then the question is, so why have the OTO? If Thelema is coming whether we're ready for it or not, what job does the OTO have? And that job is to be a midwife. It's like a woman having a baby. The baby's coming. You don't need a midwife there for that birth to happen. Birth's going to happen one way or the other, but having a midwife there can make that birth easier, safer, better for both the mother and the child. So we are the midwives of the new eon. We're here to make that transition easier. We're all transitioning into a new eon, and our job is to make that work better.
So you see the future where nobody cares about gender and what your sexuality is as being part of the new eon?
I don't see ever an age where nobody cares. But I see
it doesn't matter.
It does. It's everyone chooses one. It's like, clothing. Everyone finds the style that suits them and wears that, and we compliment one another on our choices. And it's not a matter of guilt or shame or fear. It's just we each find the style, we find the presentation, we find the life that suits us. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. And when that gets out into the culture widely enough, when enough people are living their lives with that as their core principle, then there will be nothing to fear from saying, oh, due to some sort of clerical error, I seem to have been issued the wrong body. I'm going to fix that. And everybody's like, oh, good idea. Let us know how that goes. There won't be the fear, I'm going to lose my job, I'm going to lose my friends, I'm going to lose my support system, because that's not what will occur to anyone. That this isn't going to be part of the culture in a couple of 100 years. And we're making such enormous and fast and truly astonishing strides toward that right now, more than I could ever have imagined even 20 years ago. Having transgender people on the cover of Vogue, it's like, this just was not on my radar. So I feel like I've sort of hit this sort of convergence point where my own transformative journey and the culture's transformative journey both reached exactly the right point at the right time to make what I'm doing possible today. So, go Magic.
It's beautiful, and I really did enjoy the presentation. It was very moving. I cried during part of it, and I did remember the part where Hunaku accidentally sent you as a female bishop and called you up. So I remember him coming in, oh fuck, I sent the wrong one to Greg. I've got to call him and fix that right now.
And I'm like, that's not actually so much a problem.
I thought that was just lovely. So thank you so much, sister, for your presentation, your courage. We want to continue to support you in your way as always.
Thank you, my dear.
Love you, brother, sister. Sorry.
One of those.
Sister. This is Eshel Blogway. It's for the 0 = 2 blog. Love is a law, love under will.